coming up on today's show, we've got two NBA bets. We've got one against the spread and one team total. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode, the Tuesday edition here of Winning Bets, as we give out free sports picks every single day. Before I hit you with those two bets that we've got for tonight's action, let's go ahead and recap yesterday. As you can see right there, we went 2-3 yesterday. The day started off yesterday in that NASCAR race, in the Bristol Dirt Race. We got two of our four drivers to finish in the top 10. We got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with a nice second place finish, and then Tyler Reddick with a nice 8th place finish there. And because all of those bets were at plus money, we did turn a little bit of profit in NASCAR. We turned 0.1 units of profit there in NASCAR. What a wild race. It was, I said yesterday's show was going to be wildly unpredictable. Well, the one thing you could predict was just a lot of cautions and a lot of wrecks, and that's exactly what it was. Tons of action to go in there. Just a good, exciting race to watch, actually. Ended up turning out to be. Man, the sun, I don't know how the drivers did it. If you guys were watching the race, the in between turns 1 and 2, as the glare was coming into the driver's windshield, you could not see anything. You combine the terrible sun glare, which was the majority of the problem, with the dust that was being kicked up, coming up off of the track, and you literally could not see anything. Those drivers had to have had a pack of whatever the hell you're doing coming into, in between turns 1 and 2. Don't change it, because if anybody decreased their speed, 100% you're going to run in the back of run in the back of that driver in front of you. I mean, literally could not see anything. Just a wild kind of turn there of how you just couldn't see anything in front of you there with that sun and the dirt that was being kicked up. So yeah, ended up being a good, exciting race. Martin Truex Jr. winning stages at Bristol, winning stages on dirt. Those two things that are absolutely heard of. Daniel Suarez running out in front. You never absolutely get that. The one thing that was actually good for these NASCAR drivers is Joey Logano won, because he's going to be a driver, that's going to win again. If it would have been like a Daniel Suarez that would have run, that if you win, you then clinch your spot in the NASCAR playoffs. And if a guy like Daniel Suarez was able to, actually hold on to that, top 5, top 10 car that he had most of that day, that would have just been bad news for a lot of the drivers in the field. Or even if a Ricky Stenhouse Jr., instead of finishing second, he gets first, because I don't think he's going to win, a race the rest of this track. So in the end, Joey Logano went home and brought it in. But again, for us, we got 2 of our 4 drivers in the top 10, so pulling in a little bit of profit, so that was nice to see. Rolled into the NBA action. I did go ahead and add Knicks plus 4.5. Good, close, competitive game, except for a third quarter there by the Knicks. They went ahead and got beat pretty bad in that third quarter, so a little bit unfortunate there. That's just a good, sports betting beat. Nothing bad too about that. Just it happens, and the Knicks had a bad third quarter, which sunk us there. We did get Zion Williamson to go ahead and cash. He went over 27.5 points. He ended the game with 28. We talk about how these player props, there's razor thin margins. Well, that's just a good example there of, he went 1 above his number. We've seen that, time and time again, where guys just barely go over their number. It was a free throw with about, I think, 15 seconds to go. He went to the line with 24 seconds or so to go and only made 1 of 2. And then he was at 27. And I was just shaking my head thinking, for some reason, that missed free throw is going to come back and bite us in the butt. But thankfully, Celtics get a bucket, and then they inbound. The Pelicans then inbounded it to Zion, where he immediately got fouled. And like I said, he went to the free throw line and made 1 out of 2, and into that game with 28 points. So he ended up getting that cash for us. We did not get a cash with Nikola Vucevic. That was up. That was a little bit upsetting. This is why this one's upsetting. He ended the game with 21 points. But he was 9 of 13 from shooting, so exactly what I predicted. He would have a great night, from the field, and he did that, going 9 from 13. But the troubling part is his 4 misses were from 3. So in the paint area, where I gave you guys all the stats of how the Warriors just weren't defending the paint area and weren't defending the center position, very well in the recent stretch, he would have a lot of success. He went 9 for 9, couldn't miss a bucket in the paint. And they didn't go to him enough for my liking. I mean, they ended up losing that game. You've got a guy that's 9 for 9. He's whipping ass in the paint. You've got to go to him more often. Like I said, his 4 misses were from the 3. That's what you get nowadays from center positions, any position. All these guys just love jacking up threes. I mean, he makes 1 of those. Obviously, we cashed the bet, so that's just tough. I just don't know. I would just like to see the Bulls go to him. Like I said, he's just absolutely kicking ass in the paint. He's 9 for 9, can't miss. Meanwhile, you've got Zach LaVine. I think he ended the night 4 for 16, so he gets 3 more shots than Vooch and only shoots 25%. Like that should have been a night that Vooch should have dominated based on the advantages of what I said that he had, and he obviously had those advantages going 9 for 9 in the paint area and absolutely just killing it. Just unfortunate he didn't even make one of those threes, but I think more unfortunate they didn't feed him more. In a game in a game in which they end up losing, just feed my man. He's 9 for 9. He can't miss. So yeah, that one chaps my ass a little bit. That one's not a bad beat, but man, I don't. That one doesn't sit well with me there. And then Jamari Grant, he couldn't fucking hit a basket last night to save his ass. So he went 3 for 12 last night. Just absolutely terrible shooting night for him. He actually had the trifecta of things go against him. He had a piss poor shooting night. He shot 3 for 12. He got foul trouble. He picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter. Then he got 3 fouls overall in the first half. So his minutes were reduced in the first half. And then you add in a blowout. So we had 3 things that you don't want to see in player props: a blowout, foul trouble, and a poor shooting night. Well, he had all 3 of those in one night. There's no way you're going to go ahead and make a player prop. So a little bit down on the week, or down on the night, a little over 2 units. Right picks, I think. It's still the right picks, just wrong results. So, doesn't knock our confidence one bit, whatever. So right picks, wrong results, and we look to certainly bounce back. Obviously, I gave you guys Rudy Gobert in terms of a lean. Had a guy hit me up on Twitter. He went ahead and made that bet, so that was a nice, good job by him. I obviously, didn't pull the trigger on the Rudy Gobert one. And then I also said Jazz were going to smash the Cavs, and I didn't pull the trigger on that, and that's exactly what the Jazz did. So another guy, a different guy, hit me up on that, saying he went ahead and took the Jazz. So unfortunate that I didn't take my own advice on the own leans, but I am glad I gave them out on the show because 2 different guys hit me up on those 2 different bets there, and each of them guys went ahead and got a cash there. So that was good for them. Let's go ahead now and roll into it. Like I said, I've got 2 bets for you here so far on today's action. We're going to go ahead and first, we're going to look at this Hawks versus Suns game. I'm going to go ahead and take Hawks +7 at -103 over a points bet. Look these 2 teams up. They're about even Steven over the last 10 games in terms of the stats. Field goal percentage is 48-49 from an offensive standpoint. Hawks are shooting it better from 3. They're going 37% versus the Suns 35%. The Hawks are also taking more free throw attempts per game. They're attempting 22 per game, where the Suns are only attempting 18 per game. And the Hawks are also committing less turnovers on the offensive side. They're only committing about 12 turnovers a game, where the Suns are committing 14 turnovers a game. So offensively, you can see where the Hawks are a better team offensively here in the last 10 games. And then defensively, it's a little bit even. Field goal percentage is 45% to 45%. Opponents' 3-point field goal percentage. The Suns are a little bit better. They're checking at 33% versus the Hawks 34%. But the Suns are allowing more free throw attempts, which goes in perfectly aligned with the Hawks getting more free throw attempts on the offensive side. And then turnovers, one team's committing 13, the other team's committing 14, with the Suns getting one more extra turnover there per game on the defensive side. So, and then at the end, when I went ahead and added these points up for this game in terms of calibrating how many points I think these teams will score, I've got each team scoring 110 points. So stats say it should be even, points say it should be even. So go ahead and take Hawks +7. And again, that's -103 over a points bet. Then the other bet I've got here for you, it's an NBA team total. I'm going to go ahead and look at that 76ers versus Nuggets game. And I'm going to go ahead and take the 76ers team total over 108 points at -115 over at PointsBet. I've got the 76ers scoring 113 points in this game. You got the Nuggets allowing in a recent stretch of last 10, 111 points per game. The Nuggets in the last 10 ranked 23rd in the NBA in opponents' field goal percentage. And then the Nuggets in the last 10 ranked 29th in the NBA in opponents' 3-point field goal percentage. So this is a night where the Nuggets can get up, or the 76ers can get up over 108. They're not going up a good team defensively. I think we all like the Nuggets, I believe. We all believe that the Nuggets are a good team. But from a defensive standpoint, 23rd in the league and 29th in the league in terms of field goal and 3-point field goal percentage is not going to get it done against a 76ers team that shoots the ball really, really well. So I like the 76ers tonight to go up over 108 points and get us a nice cash in there. As of now, those are the only two bets I've got. More than likely, that'll really probably be the only two bets I have for you going on. I'm probably not going to get another one. Player prop advantage. There's not a whole lot of advantages going on tonight. You also don't have the player props populated by the sportsbook. Wizards played last night. You got the Clippers that played last night. And then between this, 76ers, Nuggets, and then Hawks, Suns games, no real big standout advantages to where I wanted to pull the trigger, and I felt comfortable pulling the trigger on the player prop. So again, I don't want to force a bet here, so I laid off on the player props. The only one I could maybe consider playing is I could see the Clippers resting their stars because they played last night. They're going up against the Magic tonight, which they should absolutely crush the Magic. But the thing that has me a little bit worried is I think the Clippers will definitely more than likely rest their stars. I mean, this seems like a spot where they'll go ahead and rest their stars. And if so, Reggie Jackson, and when he plays without the stars, on the Clippers team, he has a knack for really going off. So there's a reason why the sportsbooks haven't given you that number on Reggie Jackson, because they're waiting to see, if Kawhi Leonard and the boys will play. Because if they don't, that means Reggie Jackson's number should be significantly inflated, because he'll be the only one left on that court worth a damn that can score points for the Clippers. So maybe I'll pull the trigger on that. Let's just wait and see. But otherwise, I love Hawks +7, and I love 76ers going over their team total of 108. So that's more than likely the only two bets I'll roll with today, and then we'll look to maybe get some more bets in on tomorrow. A lot bigger slate tomorrow. There's only 4 games on tonight's NBA slate. So I'm going to roll with those two bets, and we'll look to go 2-0, put a little bit of profit in our pocket, get back to last night's loss, and then roll on into Wednesday. Go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know if you're going to go ahead and ride with me on one of these two bets. Mash that like button. It always lets me know that I'm not alone and you guys are riding with me. Otherwise, enjoy your Tuesday, and I'll see you guys back on Wednesday's show. Have a good one. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.